The Selfish Path to Romance. Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com.
Dale, are you there?
Dr. Kenner, how are you?
Good.
Pleasure to talk to you.
Oh, thank you. What's your question?
I wanted to just ask you something. I went through a very bitter divorce after being divorced for 20 years. And I'm getting out of my life, but I still have, whenever I have to go over and pick up my daughter at the house, or whenever I see him, I just get so very angry because of everything that happened. And I'm trying to get out of my life, and I'm doing pretty well in most ways. But, the anger part and the bitter, I would like to let go of it, but I just don't know how to do it,
Okay. Now, help me understand. You were divorced 20 years ago, or you were recently?
I was divorced after 20 years. Yeah, I've been
after
on my
20
own
years.
for almost 2 years now.
Okay, so you're saying that the anger is lingering in you. It's not like someone whom you never have to have contact with again. Your husband.
I talk to him and see her on a daily basis.
On a daily basis. How old are your kids?
Well, my boys are 33 and 27, but my daughter's 18, and she's coming home from college this week, and I got to pick her up. I go pick up my dog, and and I have to deal with him, and it just. Tell
me what goes through your mind. You're about to see him.
What goes through my mind is this. I mean, I worked my what off for 20 years, and I'm living in a little dinky little apartment, and he's living in my $450,000 house, and I just didn't have the energy or the money to take him to court, and my daughter wanted to stay in her home, so I let her. But he just sits there smiling like a Cheshire cat, and and all that, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm angry about, to tell you the truth.
Okay, so that would be where you'd want to start. Anger is the emotion. I love my anger. Now that sounds bizarre. I love my anger because it's my way of figuring out what's unfair in my life.
Right.
I don't stop at the anger. I need to do the introspective work to say, why am I feeling anger towards this person?
Sometimes I take out a paper and I'll try to write down, exactly what I'm angry about. And after I have an angry outburst or whatever, which I hate, and I'm not an angry person. But I want to get past it.
Okay, give me 2 or 3 things that you're most angry with apart from the house. He got the house. What else? What are the key things that just drive you crazy about the settlement?
Key things, there's a couple of key things. He has severe OCD, and he was a shoplifter.
Okay.
And he was selling me stolen cigarettes for a year. And then when he finally got arrested, I had to go pick up my daughter at the police station because he had my daughter in the car. And, that was the final straw for me. That angers me.
Okay.
What angers me is, my daughter's coming home, and, he gets to be there when she comes home, and he gets to be in the house with the dog and my daughter, and I get to, I get thrown visitation or whatever, what he throws me,
How come? To him. Okay, well, when you say visitation, she's 18 years old now. Can't she decide who she wants to be with?
Right, but see, there's also another problem is he controls all the money.
Yeah.
And, he holds that money over her head like a weapon. So she's afraid if she doesn't do what his father and the grandmother say, then she's going to get what she does. He's a very vindictive person.
Okay. If you want a solution to this, what I'm hearing is that you want to focus on the positives. Now, that sounds bizarre because this is so negative, and I would encourage you to get some personal counseling for yourself to help.
I have a counselor.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I just wanted to ask you what you thought, and I know what the answer is, but it's only when I have to see him or have communication with him that these feelings come.
Okay, then what you need to do is to prepare for those times. If you're going to see him, if you want to, you have an option. You can either...
Hey, I got to interrupt this because we've got to pay some bills. 30 seconds, that's it. A very quick ad, and then Ellen will be back.
Romance. I wish I knew more about what girls want from a relationship. Boy, I wish I knew more about what I want. Where's that ad I saw? Here it is. The Selfish Path to Romance, a serious romance guidebook. Download Chapter 1 for free at selfishromance.com and buy it at amazon.com. Huh. The selfish path to romance. That is interesting.
If you want to, you have an option. You can either let your mind go on autopilot, what would automatically spill into your mind, which would be all of the negative, unfinished emotions that are unresolvable with him. He's the person he is. He's not made himself into a lovable creature. No. He still continues to do harm with your daughter, using money as a weapon, and she's buying into that too. And you can either fill your mind with those thoughts, or you can focus on your daughter. If you prime yourself in advance by making a list of questions that you'd want to ask your daughter, how is school? Is she off at school now? Is that it?
Yeah, I talk to her daily. It's wonderful.
Okay. If you
home, it's going to change because her father, will pull the.
If you can think of him as the Wicked Witch melting, he doesn't count anymore. In The Wizard of Oz. Pardon?
That's my favorite movie in the whole wide world.
Okay, just think, I'm melting. Don't pay any attention to him. Focus on your daughter. She's here for a limited time, and this is your life, your values, and you don't want to spin your mind or your wheels around something that's totally futile. He did the damage. He continues to do damage, and you can't do anything about it because it's too costly. And know that you're a good person. Know that your daughter's a decent person, and that he is not a good person. To the extent that he shoplifted, he's a thief. You can call it OCD. I call it a thief.
A thief, a cheat, and a liar.
Yeah.
He cheated on me, believe me. I didn't do it all, but
he will never achieve.
Behind me.
Then he's already got his punishment, if that's any solace for you. Because he cannot. Would you want to trade your mind for his mind for one moment?
No.
Okay, notice
I couldn't be like that.
He lives with his own punishment. Psychologically, he will never have the depth of happiness that you're capable of, even if he fakes it on the surface.
Everybody tells me that he'll never be happy.
Even if he fakes it on the surface, his self-esteem he's destroyed it, and it doesn't look like he's motivated to repair it.
No.
So I do hope that helps, and I really hope that you can focus on your daughter.
Talking to me, I feel better. I really, really do. And I try. I get on with my life. I keep very busy, and I have a wonderful family, and I'm not.
Keep your attention there. Think of him as the Wicked Witch that's melting, and I wish you the best of luck, Dale.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And here's a little more from Dr. Kenner.
Seems like I'm always being told to take my feet off the furniture, put a coaster under my beer, turn the TV down. I used to make the rules, and now I have to follow them. I don't know what's bugging me. I guess it's not easy for a guy like me to not be in charge.
And that's from Frasier. That's the dad who's now living with Frasier and has to live by Frasier's rules to some extent. And he's reflecting back and saying, I used to make the rules for Frasier, and now Frasier is making the rules for me. And it's a tough situation because there's not a one of us that doesn't love our own autonomy, the ability to take charge of our life and make independent decisions. Let me soften that a little bit. There are some people who have made it into a habit to constantly be chronically clingy and dependent on other people. But in terms of building character and building pride, you can't build it by always living in the shadows of others. And if somebody's always picking on you for, put a coaster under your beer, turn the TV down, take your feet off of the couch, if they're constantly picking on you, you just feel so diminished. You don't feel valued or visible. And so what you need to do in those situations is speak from your heart. Instead of engaging in a power struggle and trying to fight back or going underground and carrying that bitterness inside but being looking like a cold person that no one can reach, just speak from your heart and just say that, or from your head, and just say that, I feel belittled when I'm told these things. Let's come up with some solution to this so this isn't a chronic tension between us, because I want to feel at home here, and I know it's your home, and I want to thank you for being gracious enough to let me in. Let's figure out a system that works for both of us. And it opens up a discussion. And maybe Frasier will be more comfortable with the TV being up at certain times, and you'll be more respectful of him, and you'll have better ways of communicating what you want to one another.
For more Dr. Kenner podcast, go to drkenner.com and please listen to this ad.
Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance by clinical psychologist Dr. Ellen Kenner.
Beware of infatuation based on looks. Foster met Juliana when she waited on him at a bar. He discovered that this gorgeous, seductive woman with long, silky hair, blue eyes, and a beautiful smile was an aspiring Hollywood actress. Foster courted her ardently. She was short of money, so he convinced her to move in with him. He bought her flowers, cooked her meals, bought her new clothing, and loaned her his car. He was ecstatic when she agreed to have sex with him, but her sexual response was mechanical, lacking in intimacy. In the back of his mind, Foster knew something was missing in their relationship. Juliana came home one day beaming. She had gotten her first small role in a movie. The following day, Juliana ditched him for an up-and-coming young actor.
You can download Chapter 1 for free by going to drkenner.com, and you can buy the book at amazon.com.